This is the Literacy Mindset Podcast, where education leaders discuss identifying and removing phonological barriers with Mindplay's CEO, Jeff Pendleton.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Literacy Mindset. We have our Oklahoma series. Today, my guest is Kathy Hunt, who is the principal at Peterborough Upper Elementary, I believe, in McAllister Public Schools. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Very excited. I love being able to do this Oklahoma mini-series and talk across the state. Oklahoma is very, very close to my heart as I raised some kids there for a while. So let's orient the audience just a little bit. Can you help them understand where McAllister is in case it's not known, and a little bit about you and getting to where you're at?
Okay. Well, McAllister's located in southeastern Oklahoma. It's very beautiful. Lots of trees. McAllister is actually a registered tree city. And even back behind our school, we have a tree arboretum, which is a tree museum. So
that's kind of cool. Okay.
I love trees. I love monarch butterflies. We're also a monarch way station. We raise milkweed and watch the monarchs because they're in our migrational path.
Wow.
I've been an educator for 45 years. So I think I may be the oldest person in the school system or close to it. So I work with
the
a lot
wisest person.
There you go. Wisest. My son is 42. He's also from Edmond. And all of the principals that I work with at the exception of, I think all of them, they're like my son's age. So I'm working with my kids.
Fair.
And I love them
stay
all.
In the game. I love it.
They keep me updated on technology, and I tell them maybe things that they should say and do. So it's a very symbiotic relationship that I have.
That's excellent. Expertise is so hard to come by these days, and when you have a wealth of it, being able to share that with others, I think is a very impressive trait. What about how many students are in McAllister, and then tell us a little bit about the breakdown of your building and how you guys work.
We have, I would say, around 3,000 students in our school district. We have a pre-K and a 3-year-old program in a pre-K, which also houses a daycare for teachers and their babies and their kids.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, which is right next door to me at Will Rogers. And then I'm Peterborough, which is 3rd and 4th, but it used to be a middle school. And I told you when we were talking, my dad actually was the first assistant principal at this school. And I watched them build this school and actually attended it here as a 7th, 8th, and 9th grader. So
you've
this
watched
place
those halls before.
It's kind of full circle, dear to my heart.
Cool.
My dad's office was right next door, and he was a huge influence in my life. So that's kind of fun for me. And then after they leave us, they go to Parker, which is 5th and 6th grade. And then they go to Randy Hughes, which is 7th and 8th. And then 9th through 12th is at the high school.
All right.
So
that's a lot of transitions.
It is a lot of transitions.
Of a K-6 environment.
But the beauty of it.
Yeah, tell us about it.
The beauty of it is all of these kids from 3-year-olds to seniors are going to school together. They're growing up together. There's not, because it used to be the elementaries, there were 3 different sites. And sometimes that allowed for some disparities people felt. I don't know that they actually were there, but they felt like they were. And so this way, everybody gets the same thing. If you're a Peterborough, you're all getting the same thing.
Right. And so it's a little bit like, eventually that was true at the high school, but now you kind of have that true
from the beginning
across the K-12 spectrum. So that is a unique perspective to be able to have in the town, everybody in all the buildings all the time. And so it really helps maintain relationships across the grade levels.
Absolutely.
Are there challenges that come with that model?
Well, I haven't really experienced any challenges with it. I started off at Will Rogers when it was 1st through 6th, and this is that was the largest elementary. And then I was at Edmond, and then I also then I became the principal at Edmond Doyle, which was across town, which was a smaller school. But I have to brag on Edmond Doyle. It was a 2014 and 2021 National Blue Ribbon School. So
Blue ribbon
just because you're
twice.
not the biggest, doesn't mean you can't
You
be
can't
one of
have
the
a blue
best.
ribbon.
And you got a
You
blue
can't have a blue
ribbon.
ribbon.
That's right.
That's awesome. Congrats on that. I love hearing the twice. That's amazing.
Yes. And I love my town. I mean, I was born here, so I'm highly invested in this town. And being with it for 45 years, I'm highly invested in the children of this town. And one of my biggest, I think, blessings is I am now working with people I taught. My assistant principal, Carissa, was my fourth grader. My interventionist, Molly, was my fourth grader. You know, I work with people. My counselor at one time, Rich Cornish, was my first fourth grader that I had. So, you know, I work with a lot of people that I have helped raise. And so that's pretty cool. When you're as old as I am, that's a perk.
That is great. I think that let's stay there. When you're as wise as you are, when you have as much experience as you do, you know, here we talk a lot about literacy on this podcast. We talk about challenges. We talk about different angles. You've seen a lot of change in the literacy landscape. You were studying before Science of Reading was called Science of Reading.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like it dominates the headlines, and it's top Google searches. Science of Reading. What is Science of Reading? Have you noticed any changes in that, or is it we really are just kind of keep refining what we've known to be true for a long time, even though maybe we stray from it for a while?
I think we're refining the process. I think that I've always been really into brain research also, and how the brain works and how learning styles. So I think Science of Reading, applies to a lot of that and trying to get every child where they need to be. I would say probably the biggest challenge that we have is that reading itself is not, like when I was growing up, there were 3 channels on the television. There were no cell phones.
Right.
And there was one phone in the living room that I had to talk on where everybody heard what I was saying. So that wasn't. So my whole family read books. I mean, we would all, it wasn't uncommon for all 5 of us to be sitting around reading a book. Reading is not something that a lot of kids are excited to do. They can hear it on an audio. They can play it on a game. But what I try to get them to understand is reading is power. That's what I tell these kids. Your ability to read is what's going to separate you from the haves and the have-nots. There are a lot of illiterate people out there, and you don't want to be one of them. So we do everything we could do. Like we talked earlier, COVID has not been our friend. So there's a lot of gaps with these kids. So that's why we've incorporated the program's really great reading, into reading, novel studies, focusing on phonological awareness and comprehension, fluency, vocabulary. We're doing everything that we can to fill in the gaps so that they can read. We also have Take Flight, which is an interventionist for dyslexic children. We had one, Miss Brenner, Miss Molly, one of my 4th graders. She did that here with us last year. And then there was another teacher, Miss Gertz, over at Will Rogers, who was doing it. And I've personally seen it because Gabby, the one who just wanted me to open something, she has been diagnosed as being dyslexic. And her ability to read has just blossomed because of the training. This Take Flight evidently rewires their brain, which is so exciting to me because all of these years, I've met children that I knew for a fact were dyslexic, smart as a whip, but they could not read, but they could do math, a lot of them. And here we finally, and I was always saying, what do I do? How do I help them? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. And now we have somebody who's actually helping them rewire their brain so that they can read. And it works. We had a little boy here last year. Well, I've had him since he was in 2nd grade. Math, he's a math whiz, but he could not read. He's been doing this program and he's already reading better and better and better. So I love my school district because I'm from day one until now. If something comes out that's beneficial to kids and we can get our hands on it, we try it, which
Love
is
it.
what any good teacher should do. You should never just think you know everything, because you don't. I mean, I've been doing it 45 years, and I tell them
You don't know everything.
Oh, good grief. I always tell them, I always thought maybe I've seen everything, but every year something will happen. I'm like, well, that's a new one, because there's no one on this earth who knows everything they need to know. That's why we need to be able to read and understand,
and
so that we do
learn
understand
more, right?
what's going on. Right.
Well, let's just take a second and talk a little bit about the gaps as COVID kind of decimated some of the normal practices that were happening for reading, and then it happened in lots of different ways, and we learned a lot about what technology could do for us, and we learned a lot about what technology should not do for us. Right? Where do you see the challenges most manifested? Let's just talk foundational skills right now. Do you see bigger gaps in phonics, phonological awareness? Is it more in fluency, vocabulary, comprehension? What
if you don't have phonological awareness, you're not going to have fluency, because you're not going to be able to read the words. So yes, that's why we do really great reading and start at the basics and go on and build onto it. And even the really good readers, there's challenges for them. One of the things that we're starting this year is called WIN. I'm sure what I need. So based on our screeners, which is STAR reading, STAR math. Right. That's our diagnostic tool that we use. Based on that information, we're putting the kids every morning where they need to be. So let's say somebody can read. Well, then they're going to go and get something that they need so they can get even better.
Right.
We're trying to meet everyone's needs, and it's not easy. But I still go back to, none of that occurs until a child knows that you love them. And that's what I tell my teachers. I said, your number one job, the most important thing that you're going to do this year, is show your children that they're special and that you love them. Even the unlovables, the difficult, the challenging. I mean, everybody's lovable, but some of them are a little more difficult than others.
Right.
So we work very hard. We've been doing a lot of training in our school district about childhood trauma, what to expect, how to react, how to talk, how to top them off the ledge, how to get them where they need to be emotionally and socially. We have an LPC. We had a grant. We have an LPC. We have a full-time counselor. We have a program, behavioral programs that come in. We have outside counselors that come in. We try to make sure that when we meet a child who's having problems, that we get their parents hooked up with the right agencies so that they can get them the help that they need.
Right.
Get them on medicine if they need to be on medicine, whatever it takes to get that child to where they need to be. Because once they leave me, it's a faster paced world. Right. So I feel like 3rd and 4th grade is a junction for these kids, that if we can get the things that they need under control, they're going to be more successful when they leave us. And fortunately, when they leave us, they're going to another place that has the same philosophy. Miss Price does the same things at her school that I do at mine, only on a different level and more responsibility, more consequences sometimes. So I tell them, not everyone's going to sit and talk to you about this. I am, because I want you to stop. But it's going to reach a point where you're just going to ATS, suspension. I said, I don't want that for you. So I need you to get yourself together while you're here with me. And I also need you to learn how to read. I'm always on the, we have an intercom system here. I'll get on it and say things like, I hope everyone is treating my friends well today. That means the teachers. I hope you're being a good student, being respectful, and you're listening and you're learning. You're learning how to read, how to write, how to do math, and how to be a good friend. That's your job here today. And so
let's do some reading. Let's do some writing. Let's be good friends.
That's
ready
right.
to go.
We're going to be good friends.
What about libraries? There's a lot of in some places it's kind of been pushed to a digital library. Some places are really still committed to physical libraries. There's benefits of both. Just where are you guys at, and what are you doing with libraries?
We're very
today?
fortunate that we have Barb Billows. Miss Billows is our library media specialist, and she's amazing. She teaches them so many different skills that they need to do. When I started at Edmund Doyle, she was there with me, and I noticed when I looked at all the test scores that the lowest scores were research, and I forget what the other name of it is. And I said, Barb, we need to do something about it. She said, okay. So she teaches them how to use a computer, how to be a good computer citizen, about your digital footprint and how important that is. She teaches them how to do research. She teaches them how to read. I mean, she's amazing. So our library is very pivotal here. And they see her once a week. They get a steady diet of Barb Billows, and that's a good thing. Everybody needs that.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
And let's go back to intervention just for a second. Do you have interventionists that kind of work and are pulling students out, or how does a typical intervention look within the frame of the day?
We do. We have Molly Brenner, but she has been focusing on the dyslexic children.
Got it.
And then we have 3 special ed teachers, and they do a lot of the intervention, and the teachers do interventions as well. Especially this year, it's going to be a regular thing every day, what I need. And they're going to keep the same group of kids, and they're going to be working with them to figure out what they need to get them to where they need to be.
And at the 3rd and 4th grade level, sometimes that's where you start to have fragmentation, where teachers aren't as versed in the foundational skills, because that maybe is a K1, 2 teacher. How do you think about, are all of your teachers trained in science of reading and foundational skills instruction, or how does that work?
Well, like so many places in Oklahoma, because we have a shortage of teachers, we have a lot of teachers who have been, they're getting alternatively certified.
Okay.
Or adjuncted, and I believe is how you say the word. So we have a lot of training for teachers going on every day too.
Got it.
Yes, a lot of them have signed up. These are dedicated people. So they're doing science of reading. They're doing all the training that they can get. And then I have teachers that are experienced teachers. They meet with each other once or twice, or maybe every day. I forget. Carissa's in charge of that. My assistant principal. She's
Who was
in
your
charge
former
of
student? All right.
Yeah, my former student, and she's amazing. One of the smartest kids I ever met in my life. She keeps me organized, let me tell you. I'm more free-spirited. She's more, we got to do this, this, and this.
That's great.
And I need that. I need that balance in my life. She has it set up to where they meet regularly, reading and math, and then they share ideas, they share what works, they share materials, and then they go out. So we are really kind of, my friend Jamie calls it the Kathy Hunt Teacher Preparation School. So we're training a lot of people to be teachers. And fortunately, the ones that we have that are learning how to be teachers really want to be a teacher. That's just not what they started out in life wanting to be. So that has been pretty amazing to watch as well. And to watch our more experienced master teachers pass their knowledge down, that's been exciting to watch as well. It works out well here. I don't know how it works everywhere else, but this is
great.
This is a magical place here.
I like it. I like it. And it's a place where, they've been known to hand out some blue ribbons. So that's that. I like the way you talk.
Well, we got to get those scores before we get any more of those.
We could talk forever about this, because this is seriously seems like both of our passions. We'll wrap up here with a final path. Let's talk about the future just a little bit. What maybe give me something that you're worried about when you think about the future of education, and then follow that up with give me something that you're really excited about when you think about the future of education.
I worry about politicians who don't know what they're doing, who don't know why they're doing. Oh, they know why they're doing it. They don't have the sense to know that they're trying, I feel like they're trying to dismantle public education, period. I grew up in McAlester, Oklahoma. Carl Albert was the Speaker of the House. And he said, and I always quote this, democracy without public education is doomed. And I believe that with my whole heart.
Yeah.
Trying to privatize education, trying to take funds away from education, trying to send vouchers to other people because they want to homeschool their children. They want to send them to private schools. I'm all about, you want to go to a private school, you want to homeschool, by all means, do what you want. But those public monies need to go to public schools to take care of public school children. And I am so upset with the way, we have a superintendent of public schools in Oklahoma who doesn't really like public schools. And I was his fourth grade teacher, by the way. And
Really?
I am not pleased with the direction he is taking us. And I love him, but I don't love his politics. So that's what worries me, is that our people in power are not understanding what we're actually doing in these schools. And when they say Oklahoma's the 49th state, I could say some bad words about that, because I think we're far better than that. And if we had the funding and if we had the teachers that have been spewing out to other states back with us, I think we're doing a great job. We do more with little than most do with most. So I'm proud to be an Oklahoma public school educator. I'm proud of every public school educator in the state. And I say that we're highly successful considering what keeps getting taken away from us and the disrespect that we keep getting. So there's my soapbox.
Makes sense. That's the worry. Now, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about the fact that I love children and that children are inherently the best people on the planet. And if I had to spend my day with adults or children, I'm always going with the kids. Right. And there's a quote I keep. It said, I got to get it. Can I go get it for you? And I'll read. I want you to read it.
You bet.
I believe this. I keep this so I can see it.
Okay.
A child is the jury before which our civilization must stand. The way we treat our children and what we pass on to our children says volumes about who we are as a people. I believe that the people that are working here with me and in the other, I can't testify for any other school system except mine. I can say Deer Creek and Edmond, where my other two grandchildren go to school, they are doing a great job. They're loving those kids. Right. Those kids love school. They're wonderful. I don't know any of them, but I love them.
Fair.
I say that the people here are amazing in the fact that they truly are dedicated to children. They love them. They want them to be successful. And that's our mission. And I've done this long enough that 25 years of teaching fourth graders, 5 years of being their art teacher, fake art teacher. But when I see kids, I have taught doctors, lawyers, engineers, firemen, policemen, you name it, any profession you can think of, I have taught them, and I've been part of their journey. And so has every other teacher that I know. And I think we're doing a really good job because we have a lot of talented, amazing children. If someone just believes in them, research says it takes one significant adult to help a child be resilient, regardless of their background, regardless of where they came from or their adversities that they've gone through. So if this one person can get that person on the right track, imagine when you have a whole school system full of people doing the same thing. Right. And that's what I feel like we have going on here. So
that's awesome. I love it. And that's something to be excited about.
It is something to be excited about. And, I'm thinking, how much people are always saying, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, I don't know, because I still love what I do. And I guess as long as I'm physically and mentally, I tell people, if I become mentally incompetent, you must tell me it's time to stop, Kathy.
Right. So hopefully you have a good group around you.
Do.
But why not? Like
I have many people who don't mind telling me what they think. But I love what I do, and I think most educators do. Nobody does this if they don't love it. You don't get paid enough. I'm preparing. All of us are preparing people that are making much more money than we are. So it's not a money thing, obviously. So we're doing it because we love education. I love learning. I love being in school. I love kids. And I think that's what most people in the state of Oklahoma are all about, are the kids. So
that's great. Well, thank you very much for sharing, for spending time with me today, talking about it and the wonderful things that you're doing out there in McAllister. I hope we have the opportunity to do it again soon.
I hope so too. Thank you, Jeff. It was nice meeting you.
Learn how we help students by identifying and removing phonological barriers at mindplay.com.